You've just survived another brutal night shift, and you're doing everything right. Eating clean, skipping the biscuits in the break room, drinking your water. You even went for a walk on your day off. But every time you look in the mirror, that belly keeps growing. Not your arms, not your legs, just your belly. Here's the thing. A 2023 analysis in Obesity Reviews found that people with chronically elevated cortisol gain visceral fat at 4 times the rate of subcutaneous fat, even with identical calorie intake. Same food, more belly fat. This isn't just stress makes you eat more. That's the surface story. Here's what's actually happening underneath. When your brain perceives threat, a deadline, a difficult shift, even broken sleep, your adrenal glands release cortisol in 2 phases. Phase 1, cortisol floods your bloodstream within 15 minutes, pulling stored energy from muscle and fat. Phase 2, and this is the trap, cortisol activates cortisol receptors, which are concentrated specifically in visceral adipose tissue, the fat around your organs. Research from a Yale University 2000 study showed that high cortisol individuals had 17% more abdominal fat than low cortisol counterparts at identical BMI levels. Your body isn't storing fat randomly, it's relocating it, pulling it from peripheral areas and depositing it in the belly because visceral fat sits closest to the liver for rapid energy access. I call this the cortisol relocation trap. Your body thinks it's helping, but it keeps doing it long after the threat has passed, as long as cortisol stays elevated. The critical factor isn't how much you eat, it's how long your cortisol stays chronically raised. Let me show you what actually happens. Person A doesn't understand the cortisol relocation trap. They work nights, sleep 5 hours, skip breakfast because they're not hungry, then hit a high sugar meal at 2 p.m. Their cortisol peaks at 18 to 22 micrograms per deciliter through the afternoon and stays there. Over 12 weeks, they gain 2.1 kilograms of visceral fat, even in a caloric deficit 3 days a week. Person B understands the trap. Same night shift, same stress, but they eat within 90 minutes of waking, prioritize 7 grams of omega-3s weekly, and get 20 minutes of low-intensity walking post-shift. Their cortisol normalizes to 10 to 14 micrograms per deciliter by midday. Over the same 12 weeks, visceral fat decreases by 0.8 kilograms. Same job, same stress. A 2.9 kilogram difference in visceral fat in 12 weeks, just from understanding the mechanism. You're not failing at willpower, you're fighting a hormonal relocation system you didn't know existed. Now, here's what actually keeps cortisol in check through food. Number 1, dark chocolate. And yes, this is real. Go for 85% or higher. A 40-gram serving gives you around 90 milligrams of magnesium, and studies show it can reduce the cortisol stress response by up to 10%. Number 2, oily fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines. You're getting roughly 2 grams of EPA and DHA per serving, and that combination has been shown to blunt cortisol spikes by up to 22%. That's not a small number. Number 3, ashwagandha. Take 300 milligrams with breakfast. A 2019 trial published in the journal Medicine found participants saw a 27% reduction in cortisol over just 8 weeks. 1 capsule, that's it. Number 4, eggs. Simple, cheap, and genuinely powerful. You're getting a complete amino acid profile and about 6 grams of protein per egg, which directly supports adrenal function. Don't skip breakfast. Number 5, blueberries. The anthocyanins in blueberries help reduce the oxidative stress that keeps cortisol stubbornly elevated, especially relevant if you're coming off a night shift. Number 6, Greek yogurt. Around 17 grams of casein protein per 150 gram serving. Casein digests slowly, which keeps blood sugar stable and stops those mid-afternoon glucose crashes that trigger a second cortisol spike. Number 7, green tea. The L-theanine in green tea, roughly 200 milligrams in a strong brew, actively counters cortisol's alerting mechanism. It takes the edge off without making you drowsy. useful when you need to function but need to come down. Number 8, walnuts, with about 2.5 grams of ALA omega-3s per handful. They reduce the inflammatory cytokines that make your body more sensitive to cortisol over time. Think of it as turning down the volume on the stress signal. Number 9, sweet potato. 4 grams of fiber per 150-gram serving. That steady energy release prevents the blood sugar roller coaster that causes your body to release cortisol as a backup fuel source. And number 10, spinach. 157 milligrams of magnesium per 100 grams cooked. Magnesium is the mineral your adrenal glands burn through fastest under stress, and most people are already deficient. This directly replenishes it. These produce an average cortisol reduction of 18 to 27% compared to 0 to 3% from common stress-eating alternatives like high sugar snacks that actually spike cortisol further. Here's what you do. Step 1, audit your sleep. If you're averaging under 6 hours on shift nights, your baseline cortisol is running 31% above normal before you've even eaten anything. That's your starting deficit. Step 2, the protocol. A minimum of 25 grams of protein within 90 minutes of waking. No exceptions. This single combination prevents the glucose crash that triggers secondary cortisol release at 2 to 4 p.m. Step 3, timing matters. A 2021 study in psychoneuroendocrinology found that 20 minutes of walking within 2 hours of finishing a night shift reduced next-day cortisol by 19% compared to going straight to bed. Step 4, track your waist circumference at the navel, not your weight. Measure every 2 weeks, first thing in the morning. Most people notice a 1 to 2 centimeter reduction within 6 weeks when cortisol is managed consistently. Your body doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to the chemistry. For chronically stressed people, shift workers, parents, anyone running on broken sleep, it is primarily a cortisol problem. You've been buying solutions to the wrong equation. This isn't about discipline. You're not weak because you can't out-diet a stress response. You're fighting basic endocrinology. Your body is relocating fat to the belly because it's responding exactly as it's designed under chronic threat. The cortisol relocation trap only controls your waistline as long as you keep treating it as a diet problem. The belly fat isn't the problem, it's the receipt. Cortisol is the transaction. Fix the transaction, and the receipt changes. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all our latest content.